Wrestling fans have been brewing a rivalry between WWE and AEW for some time now, even without AEW having a single show to compare things to. And remember, All In wasn't officially an AEW show. However, things have all changed now that All Elite Wrestling's Double or Nothing has finally aired. And so now that we finally have a show to put into comparison, I figure why not put these two companies side by side. Let's look at AEW Double or Nothing and see how it holds up to WWE's recent Money in the Bank. And let's see who was better at what. Because today, Dave knows 3 things that AEW did better and 3 things that they didn't. Now, before we begin, let me make this clear. I like this pay-per-view a lot, but it wasn't flawless. Nothing is. And if you're one of those people who think only in absolutes and think that if I say anything even slightly bad about something it means I hate it, or if I say that I prefer one aspect of something it means that I'm some delusional fanboy, then don't watch this. Leave. You're not welcome here. This show and this channel is for people who are intelligent enough to understand that wrestling fans are perfectly capable of liking both AEW and WWE, as well as identifying that there are many different levels between love and hate. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the breakdown. Best match. Overall, between both shows, there were many matches that I enjoyed. However, if I had to pick just one, the winner for me would be Cody versus Dustin Rhodes. This was easily my favorite match from Double or Nothing, and it also wins over my favorite Money in the Bank match, which was AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins. However, only by a very narrow margin. Ultimately, I chose Cody and Dustin for a couple of reasons. The first, which ironically we have WWE to thank for, is the build-up to both of these matches. Sure, Cody and Dustin have the built-in drama of being real-life brothers, but WWE actually set the stage for this years ago at the 2013 Royal Rumble, and even throughout the Stardust Goldust storyline. We never got to see a proper big fight payoff on a grand stage between these two. Sure, there was some resolution in WWE, but it was never done with all of the grandeur living up to the gravitas that this feud really deserves. However, on the AJ Styles and Seth Rollins front, they didn't have the luxury of years of build-up by booking or being related. Another reason why Cody and Dustin get the win on this one is emotion. Not only does it mean a lot seeing the sons of wrestling legend Dusty Rhodes squaring off, but we also had Cody's motivation of wanting to destroy the Attitude Era once and for all, as well as seeing Dustin trying to muster up the strength to give it one more go. The Rhodes brothers put us on an emotional roller coaster. We went from being convinced that these two were going to have a bloodbath, and well, they did, to having a tearjerker moment at the end, which also delightfully set things up for the next show. In contrast, AJ and Seth had no real emotion to their feud other than just a mild desire to be the very best in wrestling. Their match somehow felt like there was less at stake than the Rhodes brothers match, even though they had a title on the line. Best gimmick match. However, while AEW had the best overall match, the best gimmick match to earn a title shot goes to WWE. And I know the ending of Money in the Bank was horrible. Very, very horrible. But I just can't take away from all of the exciting and amazing aspects of the men's Money in the Bank match. The bumps, the spots that were given and taken by Andrade, Ricochet, Finn Balor, Mustafa Ali were all outstanding, and they easily outshined any of the spots from the Casino Battle Royale. But more importantly, Money in the Bank was the main event. The Casino Battle Royale, on the other hand, was on the pre-show. Sure, the main event for AEW between Jericho and Omega was still to earn the title shot, but I'm just saying it would have been nice if both matches could have made it on the main card, and if the Casino Battle Royale was given the grand treatment that it really deserved, since it is one half of determining the first ever AEW champion. So WWE gets the advantage on this one, even despite Brock Lesnar. Card economy. AEW easily made better use of their time, where Money in the Bank dragged heavily in certain parts. Sure, AEW wasn't completely devoid of having both highs and lows either, but overall I don't think it dipped down nearly as low as Money in the Bank did, as short matches like Roman Reigns and Elias, as well as Rey Mysterio and Samoa Joe seemed completely pointless, and probably would have been better off not being on the show at all. Card composition. While AEW may have had the more efficient card, I think WWE arranged their card a little bit better, because when we look at the main show for Double or Nothing, it took until the 5th bout between Dustin and Cody before we got a singles match. And I understand that AEW is looking to put more emphasis on tag team wrestling than WWE, but it's still not the central focus of the company. If it was, then the main event wouldn't have been a singles match. AEW probably could have scaled back just a bit on the tagging, especially when you consider that the show opened with a 6-man tag, and after just one match we went into a regular tag bout followed by a 6-woman tag. Why not diversify a bit more? Why not put the excellent Kip Sabian vs. versus Sammy Guevara match on the main card? And also in terms of card arrangement, why put the high-octane Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers match directly before the main event? Now sure, I get that not everyone loves the idea of come-down matches. In fact, I'm not the biggest fan of them myself. And I also get that it was the only championship match on the show. But still, I just think that it can be a lot to follow when you have to go on after a big pop party that is the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. I would have much preferred the title reveal to have happened directly before the main event in order to give the crowd a chance to reset. And also, with Omega and Jericho being for a title shot, well, it would have just made sense. Now, don't get me wrong, I totally understand that Money in the Bank was a lot of singles matches back to back. However, at least they bookended the main show with their two main gimmick matches. And call me old-fashioned, but I still tend to think of six-person tags as gimmick matches. And also, why I didn't care for the throwaway matches of Roman Reigns versus Elias or Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio, at least they gave good spacing for breaks, so I'm just saying that while I still didn't like them, at least WWE made good use of their unnecessary content. Production. Not surprisingly, WWE easily takes the cake when it comes to television production. They've been doing it a lot longer and at a much higher level than anybody else, and I would also guess that they're probably dedicating a lot more money for it. However, I will say that I did prefer Double or Nothing set design to Money in the Banks. But outside of that, there were still some minor issues that I had with AEW. If you saw the transition from the buy-in pre-show to the main show, you might have noticed that Cody was cut off right in the middle of his speech. Plus, there were also two bell rings that happened before their respective matches were actually over. Not to mention that there were times when they cut to the commentary booth only to find that the commentators weren't actually looking directly into the camera. And speaking of commentary, I miss the Jim Ross of old. Where was the passion? Where was that legendary emotion that good old JR used to pour into his play-by-play? Especially considering that it was really needed for the Super Smash Bros. Debut. It was an awesome shock appearance, but it just fell flat, which is an issue that commentary could have saved. Although to be fair, commentary did save Cody's slip while doing Crossroads by saying that it was Dustin's blood that caused Cody to not get a solid enough grip. So good job on that one. Now yes, the several referee botches during Money in the Bank does help to make this contest a bit more even. However, overall, I still think it's fair to say that WWE just has TV down better. At least they do for now. Surprise ending. Of course, the biggest advantage that Double or Nothing has over Money in the Bank is the quality of their surprises and, of course, their ending. Now, while I don't need surprises all the time in wrestling, I can still appreciate when it's done right. And between Awesome Kong and Bret Hart, that would have been more than enough for me. But yet, they added even more with DDP, the Super Smash Brothers, and of course, Jon Moxley. And truth be told, by the end, I actually had forgotten about all of the Dean Ambrose rumors since I was enjoying the show just so much. But don't get me wrong, when he appeared from the crowd, I totally marked out. And I can't stress enough that the biggest improvement Double or Nothing had is that unlike Money in the Bank's main event surprise run-in, Jon Moxley isn't Brock Lesnar. While Brock ruined things for many fans, Jon Moxley was a welcome sight to see. Lesnar's appearance just made fans groan, knowing that they were going to be getting more of the same old garbage in the near future. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley seems to have reinvigorated the former Dean Ambrose, and with his attack on Kenny Omega, along with many other aspects of the show, it left fans anticipating what's next to come, which is exactly what a good wrestling show is supposed to do. But what did you think of Double or Nothing? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to make sure that your notifications are working so you don't miss a single video right here on Dave Knows Wrestling. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, Dave knows.